Listen to me carefully, girl. A real queen never chases, never begs, never pleads because what's meant for her finds her, not the other way around. If you are chasing a man, attention or approval, you are not sitting on your throne. You are stepping down from it. And queens never step down for anything less than what they deserve. So the real question is this: are you sitting on your throne, or are you running after fools who don't even deserve to see your crown? Self-worth is not something you borrow from others. It's not something that comes from compliments, attention, likes, or followers. Self-worth is what you decide about yourself when nobody is watching. In this world, people will give you labels. They will give you opinions. They will even give you judgments. But you must never let those things decide who you are. Because when you start living for their approval, you automatically start dying at their rejection. A queen never negotiates her worth. She sets the price and life either pays it or walks away. Think about it. How many times have you posted something on social media and then checked the likes 10 times in the next hour? Waiting, hoping, thinking, did they see it? Did they like it? Am I good enough? Now, this small habit is not small at all. It tells you that part of you still believes your value depends on who sees you. But a true queen knows she is valuable even in silence, even when no one claps, even when the world turns its back for a moment. She claps for herself. She doesn't need the applause to feel complete. Look at life's daily moments. You walk into a room, maybe a wedding, a party, a meeting, and your mind whispers, do they think I look good? Do they like my dress? Is my makeup right? But stop. What if you walked in thinking, I like how I feel, I love this dress. I am here to enjoy, not to impress. That is power. That is self-worth. Because when you stop adjusting yourself to fit the room adjusts to fit you. Remember the last time someone ignored your message, left you on read, didn't call back, and your heart started sinking. You started questioning, did I do something wrong? Am I boring? Am I not enough? Stop. These are not the thoughts of a queen. These are the lies society teaches women to believe. That your value depends on the attention you get. But what if you told yourself, if they cannot see my light, they are blind? Not because my light is weak, but because they don't deserve to see it. Suddenly, you take back your power. You realize their ignorance is not your problem. It's the same in relationships. A woman will cook, clean, change, shrink, and stretch just to be loved by a man who doesn't even see her worth. How many women have burned their souls trying to be the perfect girlfriend for a man who didn't deserve even a hello? But listen, a queen never fights to be chosen. She chooses herself. She feeds her own soul. She fills her own cup. So when the wrong man leaves, she doesn't collapse. She celebrates because only emptiness makes space for the right one. Even at work, this truth plays out. How many of you have stayed quiet in meetings, afraid to speak because you thought, what if my idea is stupid? What if they laugh? But a queen rises and speaks, not because she knows they listen, but because she respects her own voice. Because whether they clap or not, she will never silence herself for comfort's sake. The power of no, the most expensive word you'll ever use. So why not? Because life is the competition for power. Whether they clap or not, she will never silence herself. Self-worth is the courage to say what you believe, even if the room falls silent. Have you ever bought a dress just to impress others? Worn heels that hurt just to fit in? Agreed to plans you didn't like just to stay in the group? All of this is chasing validation. And every time you chase, you leave your throne. A queen wears what makes her feel powerful. She stays home when she wants peace. She says no when her spirit feels forced. She does not dance to win approval. She stands to win her own respect. And that is the rarest beauty. The woman who does not need permission to be herself. You see her in the grocery store, hair messy, no makeup, smiling at her own thoughts. And the world feels her glow because she belongs to herself. Because she knows the crown is not on her head, it's in her mind. Energy is like currency. The more you spend it carelessly, the less valuable it becomes. A queen understands this. She knows that when her energy is reserved, when her presence is rare, it becomes magnetic. The world starts to lean in when you pull back. It's not mystery for the sake of being mysterious. It's power. It's wisdom. It's understanding the truth that what is rare is always more valuable than what is common. Look at daily life. How many times have you seen someone constantly texting, calling, checking on people who don't even reply with the same warmth? What happens? They lose respect. They lose value. Because the more you make yourself available, the less people feel they have to earn you. The girl who responds to every message within seconds becomes predictable. The man who runs after someone who keeps pushing him away becomes desperate. But the one who waits, the one who takes her time to respond, who chooses carefully where to put her energy, becomes the one everyone waits for. She holds the power because she knows not every voice deserves a reply. Not every knock deserves to be answered. It's like perfume. Spray too much of it in the room, and soon no one notices it. But one soft touch on the neck, and suddenly the room turns to find the source. Energy works the same way. When you are everywhere, too available, too open, too giving, people get used to your light. They stop feeling its warmth. But when you withdraw, when you take time for yourself, when you choose to be silent, rather than filling every moment with words, they notice. They miss your energy. They wonder where you are. They chase what they once ignored. Think about the celebrities you admire. Why are they fascinating? Because you don't see them every day. Because they speak when they want, not when the world demands. Because their appearance is not cheap, not casual, not for everyone. When they enter a room, silence falls, heads turn. And why? Because they are rare. They understand the secret. The more you give yourself to the world, the less the world values you. But the more you hold yourself back, the more the world waits for your presence. Even friendships show this truth. The friend who is always available, always says yes, always drops everything. People stop respecting her time. They start calling her only when they are bored or lonely because they know she will always answer. But the friend who says no, the one who values her own peace, the one who is not afraid to decline an invitation just to enjoy her own space, suddenly she becomes the friend they want the most. Because her time is rare, her energy is not free, her presence means something. Look at love. The man who gives gifts every day, sends messages every hour, calls every night, soon his effort is no longer special. It's expected. But the man who gives space, who lets desire build, who sends that one message that surprises her after days of silence, he stays on her mind because he understands that attention is not attractive when it's given without pause. It's attractive when it's reserved, when it's rare, when it feels like a privilege, not a habit. Even at work, the employee who says yes to every task, stays late every night, does everything for everyone, soon becomes the one they expect to work overtime for nothing. But the one who says no when needed, who defends her time, who sets boundaries, she earns respect because her energy is not cheap. She protects it. She values it. And so others do too. Energy is your secret weapon. When you walk into a room and speak less, observe more, smile without trying too hard, you become magnetic. People wonder about you. They feel your strength in silence. They feel your confidence. When you are not desperate to prove yourself, your mystery becomes your charm. Your calm becomes your voice. Your stillness becomes your invitation. Because queens don't chase attention. They command it without speaking. Standards are like the walls of a palace. They protect what is precious inside. When you lower your standards, it's like breaking down those walls and allowing anyone to walk into your kingdom, muddy shoes and all. A queen knows that her standards are not meant to make her life difficult. They are meant to make her life clear. They are not about being too picky, too demanding, or too hard to please. They are about knowing exactly what she deserves and refusing to accept anything less. Think of the woman who stays in a relationship where she's not respected, where her needs are ignored, where her value is questioned every day. Why does she stay? Because she believes that maybe if she lowers her standards just a little, he will change. Maybe if she accepts less, he will give more. But here's the truth that no one dares to tell her. When you lower your standards, you teach people how low they can go with you. When you accept disrespect once, they learn they can disrespect you forever. When you accept less love, less effort, less care, you set the price of your soul cheap. And no queen was born to be cheap. Look at the workplace. There is always that one person who does everything, no matter how unfair the task, who says yes to every request, who tolerates the extra hours without pay, the extra work without thanks. Why? Because they believe that by lowering their standard, by accepting less, they will be liked more. But what really happens? They are taken for granted. People dump their problems on them because they know this person will always carry the weight. But the worker who says, "This is my time, this is my value, this is what I deserve," suddenly they are respected. Suddenly, people think twice before asking for more. Standards are not arrogance, they are survival. Even friendships expose this truth. The friend who always forgives betrayal, always tolerates gossip, always stays quiet when insulted becomes the friend no one fears to hurt. But the one who says, "I will not accept lies. I will not accept fake smiles. I will not stay where my heart feels unsafe." She is the one whose absence is felt the deepest because her standards made her rare, made her unforgettable, made her valuable. Dating reveals this lesson most painfully. How many women accept late replies, broken promises, cancelled plans, and confuse men thinking, "If I am patient enough, maybe he will finally treat me right." But patience without standards is just self-betrayal. A queen never accepts the bare minimum. She never waits for potential. She wants consistency, truth, honor. A real man, not a promise of one. Because every time she accepts a late text, every time she tolerates disposable silence, every time she stays quiet when she should have walked away, her crown falls inch by inch. Until one day, she no longer recognizes herself in the mirror. Even in simple daily life, how you let people speak to you matters. The shopkeeper who is rude, the stranger who cuts in line, the colleague who jokes with disrespect. How you react sets the tone. Smile and ignore every time, and they learn you are soft, easy to push. But stand firm politely but clearly, and you teach them your standards. You teach the world. Here lives a queen. Approach with respect or not at all. Social media shows this lesson too. How many people post what they think others want to see? How many show skin, fake luxury, false smiles just for likes? But the woman who posts truth, her real life, her flaws, her strength, sets a standard the world cannot fake, and the world watches. She may not have millions of followers overnight, but those who follow her do so with respect because her standard is truth, not attention. Even when you dress in the morning, this truth appears. Are you wearing what feels powerful to you, or what you think will impress them? When you choose your clothes, your perfume, your jewelry, you are telling the world what you accept. You are setting a standard. I dress for myself, not for your approval. And suddenly your walk changes. Your head lifts higher because you realize every standard you protect is another stone in the palace you are building for your life. The word no is the most powerful word in the vocabulary of a queen. Not because it is rude, not because it is harsh, but because it is a complete sentence. When you learn to say no without fear, without apology, without hesitation, you finally start living life on your terms, not theirs. No is the gate that protects your peace, your energy, your dreams, and your destiny. Yet, how many women fear to use this word? How many times have you said yes just to be polite, just to be liked, just to fit in, and felt your soul shrink a little more with every silent scream? Think about the friend who always asks for favors, borrowing money, asking for your time, your energy, your listening ear, even when you are exhausted. And every time you say yes because you don't want to hurt them, but inside your body tenses, your heart whispers, not again. You know you can't afford to give more, but you give anyway. What happens? You train them to believe that your time is free, that your energy is endless, that your boundaries don't matter. But the day you finally say no, their shock will be real because you taught them that you have no limit. And when you break that pattern, they feel it like an earthquake. Because queens don't serve out of guilt, they serve out of choice. Look at the workplace. Your boss drops extra files on your desk at 600 p.m. when your shift ends at 5 and you smile and say, "Sure, I'll stay late again," because you want to be seen as helpful, loyal, hardworking. But what you don't see is this. The more you say yes to unfair demands, the more they dump on you, until your life becomes a series of other people's expectations, not your own dreams. But the day you say, "No, I have plans. No, I have a family. I know I have boundaries," is the day you take your life back. Queens are not built by overwork. Queens are built by knowing when enough is enough. Even in relationships, the power of no is gold. How many women let their boyfriends, husbands, or partners cross lines because they don't want to seem difficult? Saying yes to disrespect, yes to broken promises, yes to confusion. And every yes chips away at her crown. But the woman who says, "No, no, you cannot disrespect me. No, I will not wait forever. No, I will not play small to make you comfortable," she terrifies weak men and attracts real kings. Because her no tells the world, "I am not here to beg, I am here to rule." Even family can test this boundary. A mother asks for something you cannot give. A brother takes advantage of your kindness. A cousin wants money you cannot afford to lose. And you think, "But it's family. How can I say no?" Here is the truth they never taught you. Real love respects no. Real care honors boundaries. Saying no to family is not cruelty. It is self-respect. It is telling them, "I matter too." Queens do not drain themselves for the comfort of others. They teach others how to love them by loving themselves first. Look at your phone. How many invitations do you accept because you're afraid to miss out? How many times have you said yes to events you didn't want to attend? People you didn't want to see? Conversations you didn't want to have? And when the day came, you dressed in tired clothes, carried tired energy, smiled a tired smile. But imagine if you said no without guilt. "No, I choose peace tonight. No, this time is mine." Suddenly you breathe. You feel free because you did not betray yourself to please others. Even social media begs for your yes. Post this, like this, follow that. But the queen says no to trends that do not match her truth. No to fake beauty. No to false life. No to the pressure to pretend, because her value is not measured in followers. Her worth is not counted in likes. Her life is her own, not a stage for the crowd. And when you master the power of no, the world will fear losing you because they know you cannot be controlled, manipulated, or owned. You are free. Stillness is a forgotten superpower in this noisy, restless world. Everybody is running, everybody is chasing, everybody is trying to prove, to impress, to be noticed. But the queen, she doesn't run, she doesn't chase, she doesn't speak just to fill the air. Her stillness speaks louder than noise. If you're ready to embrace your power and wear your crown with confidence, like this video and follow us for more empowering messages.